Manufacturing yield is one of those terms that might sound a bit technical or even dull at first glance. But let me tell you, it's actually the lifeblood of any production process. Think of it as the heartbeat of manufacturing efficiency. So, what exactly is manufacturing yield? Simply put, it's a measure of how many usable products come out of the total units produced. You can think of it as a percentage that tells you how effective your production processes are. For instance, if you produce 1,000 units and 950 of them are up to standard, your manufacturing yield is 95%. Pretty straightforward, right? Now, why does this matter? Well, for starters, a higher manufacturing yield means cost effectiveness. If you're producing more usable products, you're maximizing your resources, whether that's time, materials, or labor. This translates directly into profitability. Imagine being able to offer your products at competitive prices while still making a healthy profit. That's the kind of edge every manufacturer dreams of, but it's not just about the bottom line. It's also about quality. When you measure yield, you're essentially assessing the effectiveness of your quality control systems. If your yield is low, that's a red flag. It means something's going wrong in your process, and you need to dig deeper to find out what it is. Maybe it's equipment failures, or perhaps it's human error. Whatever it is, measuring yield helps you maintain consistent quality standards, which is crucial for meeting customer expectations. And let's talk about customer satisfaction for a moment. In today's market, customers are more discerning than ever. They expect high-quality products delivered on time, every time. A consistent manufacturing yield not only enhances product quality, but also fosters brand loyalty. When customers know they can rely on your products, they're more likely to come back for more. Now, let's get a bit more technical and discuss how to calculate manufacturing yield. The formula is pretty simple. You take the number of usable products, divide it by the total number of units produced, and then multiply by 100 to get a percentage. So, if you produced 500 smartphones and 450 met your quality standards, your yield would be 90%. But calculating yield is just the beginning. Many manufacturers use tools like Excel or specialized yield calculators to streamline this process. These tools can help automate calculations and minimize errors, which is super important in a fast-paced manufacturing environment. Next, we need to differentiate between two key concepts: overall manufacturing yield and first-time yield, FTY. Overall manufacturing yield, or final yield, takes into account the entire production process, including any rework or repairs. It gives you a comprehensive view of how well your production is working from start to finish. On the other hand, FTY measures the percentage of products that meet quality standards on the first attempt, without any rework. A high FTY is a sign of a well-controlled process, which means less waste and lower costs. So, how do we go about maximizing yield? A systematic approach is essential. This means continuously analyzing your processes, identifying areas for improvement, and implementing best practices. For example, consider investing in operator training. A well-trained workforce is less likely to make mistakes, which can significantly reduce yield loss. Speaking of yield loss, let's explore some common culprits. Equipment failures can wreak havoc on your production line. If your machines aren't running smoothly, you're likely to see a dip in yield. Then there are material defects. Poor quality raw materials can lead to a cascade of issues down the line. Process variations also play a role. If your production parameters aren't consistent, you're inviting trouble. And let's not forget human error. Mistakes happen, but the key is to minimize them through proper training and standard operating procedures. Now, let's talk about the impact of yield loss. When your yield drops, it directly affects productivity and profitability. You're producing fewer acceptable products, which means you're not meeting customer demand. This can lead to lost revenue and a damaged reputation. Plus, the cost associated with rework or scrap can add up quickly. It's a vicious cycle that can be hard to break. To combat yield loss, manufacturers can implement several strategies. First, robust process controls and quality assurance measures are essential. Regular equipment maintenance, real-time monitoring, and thorough operator training can make a world of difference. Second, leveraging data analytics can help identify patterns that lead to yield loss. By analyzing production data, you can pinpoint issues before they become significant problems. One term you'll want to familiarize yourself with is rolling throughput yield, or RTY. This metric evaluates yield across multiple stages of production, giving you a clearer picture of where improvements are needed. By continuously monitoring and adjusting your processes, you can enhance your RTY and, in turn, your overall manufacturing yield. Now, let's pivot to something a bit more practical: real-world application. Take the case of Epicurean Food, a company that faced considerable yield losses in its production process. They took a hard look at their operations and identified equipment malfunctions, inconsistent ingredient quality, and process variations as key issues. By investing in preventive maintenance and fostering better relationships with suppliers, they were able to improve their yield by 12%. This not only saved costs, but also significantly enhanced product quality and customer satisfaction. So, what can we learn from Epicurean Food? A holistic approach is key. Continuous improvement should be part of your company culture. Encourage cross-functional collaboration between departments. Production, quality assurance, and engineering all need to work together to tackle yield issues. Lean manufacturing principles can also be a game changer. Techniques like value stream mapping can help you identify waste and streamline processes. As we wrap up, remember that optimizing manufacturing yield is an ongoing journey. It requires effective process controls, data-driven decision-making, and a commitment to continuous improvement. By prioritizing yield analysis and learning from real-world examples, manufacturers can enhance their production efficiency and gain a competitive edge. In the end, maximizing your manufacturing yield isn't just about crunching numbers. It's about creating a culture of quality, efficiency, and customer satisfaction. And that, my friends, is what will set your manufacturing operation apart in today's competitive landscape.